Okay, welcome in. Welcome to Pilates with Michelle. So glad you're here. We are going to actually take this Pilates arc, the balanced arc, Pilates arc, spine corrector, and we're going to actually take you through your little flip book. So if you purchase one of these, or maybe you got one for Christmas, maybe you use this at your studio that you go to for Pilates, or let's say you're an instructor and you've been through the Balance Buddy training, or you've been through Pilates training and you just don't get a lot of time. Maybe you don't get a lot of time using the arc. We're actually going to, in this video, keep this really simple, and we're going to use the arc based off of the actual little booklet it comes with in your, when you purchase this arc. This is the little book that it comes with. So we're going to work through it one little bit at a time. Okay, so let me explain to you the arc. One, this arc is different than the spine corrector in that the spine correctors tend to be, you can call this a spine corrector. It's based off of a spine corrector, but we call it the arc partly because of, or mainly because of the arc that it creates here, the rounded position. The spine corrector tends to be a little bit taller. There's a couple of different ones out there, and each one has a different depth of the arc or roundness of the arc, if that makes sense. Okay, anyways, so plus the one that comes from Balance Buddy, the Pilates arc, this one comes with cutouts. These cutouts match completely into your shoulder blocks. So if you do have the Balance Buddy reformers and the Balance Buddy arc, this will actually go over your shoulder blocks, and you can then use it with your reformer. So nice. It's so fantastic. And it just adapts to some of the other exercises and gives you another realm of exercises you can do on your reformer. So anyways, so from there, this top part is called the lip. This is the well, and this is the arc. Does that make sense? Lip, well, and arc. It's right there and explains in your book, okay? Now, from that, you then open it up and it goes to the table of contents. And then it becomes like a stand-up book. Like you can just prop it up next to you, right? And then you can use it from there. So we're just gonna walk through it. We're gonna talk about what each little piece, and we're gonna explain and do the workout, do the exercises. In here, we'll go through it real quick and then we'll do the exercises. So the things that you wanna note when you're looking at your book is it will actually give you even modifications, and it will tell you maybe some options for, or give you some things to think about if you have precautions like neck or back, or even osteoporosis. So when you're working through this series of working through the arc, there's some things that you need to consider, your neck problems and the back problems. So the neck problems, it says support the head and the hands, and then limit your range of motion in the roll down, and avoid how far the reach exercise, or avoid the reach exercise if you have neck problems, okay? The back problems, move carefully if you have trouble flexing or extending your spine. Notice this touch of this arc, your spine is going to flatten across this, round across it, right? So you'll know even when I get onto it in the first part, when I lay on it the very first time, before I warm my back up and work through it, I'm not as, my thoracic is super tight, so right up at the top of my back, I'm relatively tighter. So I don't necessarily in the very beginning lay completely flat on it. So I have to watch my own back, and I have little options that I use with it. And then as I use it throughout my time on it, I get more extension, okay? All right, and then from there you flip it around, and then you go into the actual exercises. And then each one has inhale, exhale, where you're going to do those things, where the starting position is, and then the different types of exercises to add to it. It even tells you how many reps to do, how many repetitions to do of that particular exercise. Inhale, exhale for the next one, and then into the side series. And when we get to side series, it tells you precautions and imagery even to give you an idea of what to think about while you're doing the exercises. So let's get into it. Okay. So we're going to start in your well. Actually, we're going to start on the lip. This is not a part of your book here. Okay. But that's where we're going to start. So this would be super comfy. I'd be just right down in my well, and I'm up on my reformer. We're going to make sure I'm okay. So, but if I prop myself up on top of that lip, then I can get a connection into where my sit bones are. I'm going to take my hands out in front, and all I'm going to do right here is I'm going to exhale, and I'm going to get that C curve. And because I'm up on the lip, I can really tell where I am, where I'm moving from, how my bones kind of connect into that lip, right? So I can exhale into a C curve, inhale, sit tall. I can exhale, drop one hand down, inhale up. So I'm going to get a rotation in here, and it just starts to prep my spine, my body, my mental. I'm thinking a little bit more about where my powerhouse is in space. Powerhouse across the shoulders, down the sides, across the hips. I said that fast. Powerhouse across the shoulders, down the sides, across the hips. That's a very generic positioning of it, but that is a 3D box. It's a front and back, a bottom and a top. If I get super, super, super specific in there, it goes way internal within my abdominal wall, but generically, good idea just to think across the shoulders, down the sides, across the hips, 3D box, front and back. Okay, we've hit that a couple of times now, quite a few times. From here, go ahead, let's just take your hands back. Note you've got a connection right here, that little divot. Go ahead and hang out there, hold there. Notice these are not in your book, so we're just gonna hang out here for a second, okay? Holding on to that lip, I'm gonna just bend my elbows, support my back here, and I'm gonna start in a little march series. All of this is in prep of where I'm going. It just allows my body to just get ready for movement, right? And it allows my, my mental to also come in play. All right, let's do a couple more. Because goodness knows, it's after Christmas. It's January 1 in my world. It's January 1 right now, and I'm telling you what, it gets the change in your schedule. I know for a lot of people, we think we're going to start everything off like we're going to go New Year's Day and we're going to do everything right. Then we have New Year's Eve and we think, oh, it's just one last day, and then we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to do it right? Well, that would be today. So, did you get movement in? Did you drink your water? Did you eat the way you thought you were going to eat? Did you decide that, you know what, you're still kind of on holiday because, well, tomorrow's a holiday for a lot of people. And, you know, it's kids maybe not be back in school yet, so maybe I'll just wait until next week. Right? Isn't that how this goes? But what if next week comes in, well, you know what, next week is next week. Like, we've got a party this Saturday. So, yeah, I'm telling you, when you make a decision to just do better, to like as in I'm going to move more, I'm going to eat better, what does that mean, right? Just do what you can. Get an 80-20 in there. 80% you're hitting the mark. 20% it's a little bit much that day. It's okay. Give yourself grace and get the majority of the time, maybe even 1% better that month. Maybe just 1%. Maybe you just need to pull Coke out. Maybe we just need to pull sweets out for just a little bit, or limit them. Maybe we don't have dessert at night. We have dessert every night. Maybe we only have dessert 3 nights that week, right? All sorts of options. All right, I'm kind of feeling this now. My arms, partly because of what I did yesterday. All right, so now I'm going to find that well. So I'm just going to take my hand there, and you just kind of drop down in the well. It's quite glorious. So your first well series is literally just laying down in the well, and you're going to see it on your notes. So narrow the pelvis and pull sit bones together. What in the world does that mean, right? And begin to roll back. That means that underneath, inside, left to right of those the sit bones, the things that you were on here, and you were feeling those bony structures up here. Get down here and see if you can try to pull them towards each other. If you're having a hard time finding that, get a ball, get a little Pilates mini ball. Looking for mine. I know he's somewhere. If you put that, oh, there he is. You put that Pilates mini ball in here and hold it. You will be able to fire that pelvic floor straight away. Just straight away, right? So here, ball, it fires. It's an automatic thing, okay? All right, so then from there, pull the belly button in towards the spine. What the heck? Does that mean I go, right? No, that's not what that means. Suck abdominals deep into the body. Holy guacamole. This one, I want you to feel like you're taking the belly button. I want you to feel like you're pulling the belly button in and then tucking the belly button and hiding it behind the rib cage. Another imagery is to take a long band. Feel like that long band just went around the belly wall and you tighten it up. Another one is a corset. All these things, right? Okay, so let's go down. So we're gonna roll down. We're gonna do 10 reps just like it says. So I'm gonna put my hands behind my fingers. My hands behind my fingers. I'm gonna put my hands behind my head, my fingers behind my head. And right here, I'm gonna sit nice and tall. I'm gonna squeeze that ball. This is not in your book, by the way. It's okay if you don't have this. It's just an extra. And then from here, I'm gonna C-curve. That thing we did up here, I'm gonna C-curve and I'm gonna roll back onto that arc. I'm gonna have to tell you how good that feels. And again, now see how my neck does not come down. So I'm gonna support my head and I'm gonna chin tilt and I'm gonna head lift. I'm gonna roll right back up. Now, as you're doing it, you may find that you get a little bit closer each time. Inhale, exhale, roll. Down, inhale, exhale, roll back up. So keep the constant connection of the ball. Roll back down, feel the ribs connect into those hips. So lock the sides of those boxes out. And I have one side of my back that's a little tighter usually than the other. So I have to be mindful of that when I roll down, that I'm not overly pressing on one side. And I've got a little connection into where my head is connected into my fingertips and up. Let's do a few more. I think I counted. That's about 6. So let's do 7 and up and 8. Exhale down. Take a sip of air in. Exhale, roll back up. One more. All the way down. Let that spine move. One little vertebrae at a time. Chin tilt. Watch the neck right here. I'm trying not to let the head drop back and get lots of wrinkles in there. And then roll right back up. And again, keep a hold of that ball, right? So I think we got that. So you got that nice stretch of that torso back there. All right, now we're just gonna flip this over. So see how he's like in a 3D thing? I'm just gonna flip him over. We did 10 of those. Flip him over, okay? And now you're in the oblique roll down. And what the heck is the oblique roll down? Obliques go across the body, forward, sideways, and allow your body to rotate and flex sideways, okay? So we're gonna hold up here at the top. We're gonna exhale, we're gonna roll down. We're gonna turn to the side. I'm gonna roll about halfway to center. I'm gonna roll back down. There's a few ways you can do obliques. I'm gonna turn the other way. And I'm gonna roll up and roll back down. And then I'm gonna go ahead and extend, hold that ball, and I'm gonna come right back through center, up, right? Okay, inhale, exhale. I'm gonna roll down, I'm gonna stretch out. I'm gonna turn, and I'm gonna come up about halfway on that side, and I'm gonna roll back down, keep that ball in between those knees. I'm gonna come back through center, I'm gonna twist, I'm gonna go up halfway or so on that other side, and I'm gonna come back down, keep that ball in between those knees, roll down, and then I'm gonna come right back through center and sit back up. Now I'm gonna show you a little pause point here. I wanna take this and maybe make it a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna take that ball out of my way, and I'm gonna let my legs play. So inhale, exhale, I'm gonna roll down, I'm gonna come through center, I'm gonna twist to one side. The side that I twist to, as I come up, I'm gonna let myself come up a little higher, and I'm gonna come to that knee, and then I'm gonna roll back down. Now this is not in the book, these are extra. Inhale, exhale, twist, roll up the other side. Now no more coming through center, I'm just gonna keep going from side to side. Inhale, exhale, twist as I come up and to one side, and then roll it back down. Now a lot of times when we do this little modified bicycle stretch, the knee and the elbow, they want to meet. So rather than it being the knee and the elbow, I want you to think rib to hip. So rib to hip, and then roll back down. And then other side, inhale, exhale, rib to hip, and then roll back down. Other side, let's do one more each side, okay? Inhale, exhale, roll up, rib to hip, roll back down, inhale, exhale, roll back up, rib to hip this side. And this time I'm gonna come right through center, inhale, exhale, and I'm gonna come right through center, all the way up. Gorgeous, okay? Did I miss the reach? Nope, now we're at the reach. Okay, so we had a nice little oblique, now we have the reach. Did I do that right? That was page 6, this is page 7. Yep, okay. So now the reach is exactly what it sounds like, and we're gonna try to get that hip out of that well. This time hands are no longer on the back of the head. We're gonna inhale, exhale. We're gonna roll down. We're gonna extend those legs, and we're gonna lift that hip in this extension. Inhale, so that hip comes out of the well. And then we sweep those hands around. We exhale, the hip comes back down as we come back up, okay? Now, back with those feet. Now, if you're on kind of a softer surface where the feet can roll in and out, I've got regular socks on, but I've got a sticky surface that I'm connected to. So let's see if we hit all these lovely little pieces. So engage, abdominals, sit tall. Draw abdominals deep into the body. Okay, that means draw those rib cages. Think about rib cage. Bring those rib cages towards each other. And then you're gonna lay the back till it connects in. You're gonna roll over, keeping the abdominal engaged, which means when I lay down right here, what happens a lot of times is my rib cage wants to pop open to the outside. I know that sounds crazy, but what I want you to try to do is try to keep the rib cage connected. Is it going to connect? Is it going to spread apart? Maybe not necessarily. What's happening inward is the control within the abdominal wall. And sometimes we get so super picky about all these little pieces that we nuance the heck out of this movement, okay? So the goal here is to stay in the powerhouse, which means that when I come down, I'm trying not to pop my ribs, and I have a real ability to pop my ribs. So as I come down and I lift up here, I can open this way out, and I want to think about staying in the front of my body. And it allows me when I come up to be more connected into that abdominal wall. So let's do 10 reps, let's do 8 more. Inhale, exhale, roll down, lift those hips, exhale, roll up, inhale, roll down, lift that hip, stretch that body out, exhale, roll up, inhale, roll down, lift those hips, reach the body. That's why it says reach. Reach the body long here, shoulders down off those ears, chin tilt, head lift, and we roll back up, and the arc just kind of draws you there. Inhale, exhale, roll down and reach, lifting long, and I want to take those knees, and I want to try to keep the knees pointed up to the ceiling. Roll it up. What we have a tendency to do down here at the heels is we have a tendency to let the legs kind of pop open out to the side, okay? Inhale, exhale, roll down, lift long up here. So this is where that reach is. So we're in the heels, we're lifted tall through those hips, knees up to the ceiling, shoulders down off those ears, and roll back up. I think we have a couple more. Down, oh, can feel that tight side of my spine, and up. Last one, inhale, exhale. Roll down and reach long, lift those hips out of that well. And sweep. Anytime I go through the sweep, the knee can bend or stay extended, okay? The return to position would be knees slightly bent. All right. There we go. Okay. So that's your well abdominal series. Lots more that you can do there, but that's a good start point. So now we're in the side series preparation. Love this set. This one's where my back really enjoys the ability to kind of open and close one side. So the starting position is what we call the mermaid. Now in mermaid, you've got one leg in front and one leg out to the side. Now you're gonna notice I'm gonna get a nice lateral flexion, right, across that, I was gonna say reformer, across that arc. And honestly, one side, I'm definitely gonna feel wickedly different than the other. So I can stretch and I can reach, I can have my hand connected and sit down. And we're gonna do a little bit more twisting, but let's start with this one. So we reach across, we inhale, exhale, we bring that hand up and we sit tall and up. Inhale, exhale, we come right back down and we reach across that arc, and then we come right back up, shoulders off those ears, and draw yourself up. So this leg out here, he's kind of sliding for you. Inhale, exhale, take it down. So if you're on carpet or you're on a wood floor, it'll really slide for you. Up here on my sticky mat, he has a tendency to get kind of stuck, obviously, sticky mat. Up. Let's do a few more. Let's do 3 more. Take it down and extend. Inhale, exhale, shoulder down off those ears, and we restack. You're just kind of laying out in this well. Take it back down. Now feel the rib to hip connection. So rib to hip, this side of the body. Feel yourself, inhale, exhale, and feel that drop of the shoulder here. Feel connect rib to hip, and then pick yourself up, guiding yourself towards your heels. Okay, last one. Inhale, exhale. And on this one, you're gonna get a counter stretch. So we're stretching there, we're lengthening through that torso, and we're gonna come up and we're gonna lean out across that heel, right? So out in a counter stretch. Now I'm stretching this side, the side that was flexed over there, and then release. Now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually move my arc around so that I'm not back to you. So I'm gonna come off and just move my arc around. And he's really light. He's really light. He hangs up on my wall with 3 push pins. It's very light. Okay, now I'm gonna take it out and across. I'm gonna feel that connection. So one side, I kind of have to be a little bit more thoughtful. That's this side. This side tends to want to not be quite so flexy on this lateral flexion. Inhale, exhale. But I get a lot more connection rib to hip on this side. And reach. Oh, I don't think I reached on the other side, but see how easy it is to add things to this? Inhale, exhale, come up, sit up, and lower back down. So I'm going to take it a little bit quicker on this side. You know all the little pieces, shoulders off those ears, exhale to sit up, finding yourself in that well to as tall of a position as you can maintain. Inhale, exhale, and up. Let's do 4 more, no, about 5 more. And then I think we'll be about even. 5, and up, exhale, and 4. I really am looking for that hip down here to connect into that arc, and he is not wanting to. And up, and that's 4. This one is 3, inhale, exhale, and up. And this one's 2. Down across that arc, inhale, exhale, and up. After this one, we get that counter stretch. So stretch it on out, and then up, inhale, exhale. Use that rib cage, use that oblique, and come out to that stretch. Now, if you can stretch further than me, go for it. I can tell that after the course of the last couple of weeks with the holiday and not getting on my arc, I have a lot of little pieces in here that need a little bit more love and attention. All right, and then release that. Now we're gonna open him up. So that was your side series, in which called the side stretch mermaid. And it says 6 reps. We did about 10 on both sides. And we worked towards that side sit up, okay? Now, if you flip him on over, yep. Now you can see this side. This becomes now a little bit more fun. We're gonna get a little bit of play in our rotation. So we're gonna lay all the way down. We're gonna place our hands behind our head. We're gonna lay all the way down across it. And then from here, I'm gonna actually rotate and take a peek at, I can even see the balanced body symbol. And then I'm gonna come through, but then I'm gonna actually rotate and try to look up as much as I can. Then I'm gonna come back through center, and I'm actually gonna come all the way up and stretch. And I'm gonna do that again. So we're gonna do 6 on this side. We're gonna take it across. I'm gonna take a peek down. And as I look down here, I'm trying to keep my hip from closing over. I'm gonna try to keep that hip open. And then around, back through center, and all the way up and stretch. And again, down and out. Rotate, look. Rotate through center, over side, look. Back through center, up and all the way out. You can see how much more work this one requires of me as I think about all the pieces that are not necessarily in and resting on that arc, but more like hovering across that arc. And what's happening on that top side, right? And up and across. We have two more on this side, and you're going to get to see a difference between one side and the other. It's very telling of how our bodies are created. Whoop, I used my elbow on that one. And open, in, and up. Last one. We're going to take it across that arc. Look, open. I'm trying to not use my hand there. Find my breath series. And up and across. Take my hand to my knee and my foot. I'm gonna actually take a peek up and over that shoulder and release. Do what stretch feels good here and release it up. I'm gonna take you back over to the other side to get that rotation on the other side. And you're gonna, if you're definitely watching my movement, you're gonna definitely see a wicked difference between sides. Okay, so we'll lay back down on it. I love the arc for what it offers people. If nothing else, it gives you a fantastic opportunity to feel out side to side differences, imbalances that we have. Okay, across, rotate, and see, I can already tell I keep this hip, at least it feels like I can keep that hip open more. And I don't use my arm as much to come around. I may by 6, and then back in, up, and stretch. And 5 more. We're going to go across the arc. Take a peek. Note where your breathing is. Open. Take it back through center. And up. And stretch. The hand underneath here can come more to the hip versus out if you'd like. Back behind the head and across. And take a peek. And then take a peek. And then back in center and up. That was 3. Here's 4. Cross and look under. You don't always have to look under first either. Maybe the next time you do this, you look up first. And then back through center and up. This is 5. Down and rotate and over. In and up. Last one. So I can tell that I'm going to work this a lot this month so that I can even out from one side over to the other. We get so and around and over. We get so used to, right, the things that we like to do. Sometimes the things that we need to do are the things that aren't nearly as right, as exciting because it's things that cause you to have to work more. And back through center. But they're the things that we need to work on, right? Okay. So, resituate myself. Turn that from page 10 to page 11, which is your leg preparation. Okay, your leg series. Oh, love leg series here. Keep the weight off your neck. Please, please, please keep your weight off your neck. Support yourself on your shoulder blades and your upper back. This is really, really, really important here that I'm not, and if you have a ponytail and the ponytail is right in the middle of your head, you may need to change it so that your head stays as flat as it can be, okay? I need that head to be flat. And you're working through reaching the legs, and we'll go through that as we go along, okay? And you're drawing lines. So, and there's precautions here too as well, neck problems, and again, avoid with post-osteoporosis. If you happen to pick this bad boy up and you have osteoporosis and you're realizing there's a lot of precautions on osteoporosis or avoiding with osteoporosis, it's just the effect of flexion and that wear and tear of flexion on osteoporosis on your spine. So it's a conversation totally. If you have questions about it, let me know. Be happy to answer for you. Oop, that side series. Let's flip it over. Okay, So we're going into leg series. 12, right? Yep, okay. So page 12. And again, I'm just walking you through your manual so that you can have an idea of how this manual reads to then execution, okay? And grabbing a drink. Okay, now you'll notice in your book, in your manual, he lays flat, and then you lay behind it, and you may look at that and think, how in the world am I gonna get back? So it looks like my hip is all the way up here. So there's a couple of ways you can get here. One is if your arc is on a wood floor, or not a wood floor because you're gonna be laying on your back, maybe your carpet and it's comfortable. I can't do it because I'm on a sticky mat. So if I lay flat, actually I might be able to do it. If I lay flat and lift that arc up, yeah, I can slide that arc underneath until it finds that connection, where now, again, I'm on my shoulder blades. I'm not on my neck. I'm not so far forward with that arc that I'm to my neck. It's right about midline of my back, maybe just a little bit below my shoulder blades. And the beautiful thing about the arc is that I have these, again, these handles. Now the spine corrector has handles also, but I like the fact that there's 3, so there's different places I can hang on to, right? So now I'm upside down, I've got the legs up, I've got my hands onto the little places, the little divots I'm holding. So that's one way to get here. Okay, so let's go through the other way. Because now I then just put my feet down, I lift my hip up, and I slide that arc out, and I lay my hip down. That's how you're gonna get out, okay? So let's roll up. I know I'm a sticky mat, arc in the way. The way they talk, the way the book also talks about how to get here is sitting on it and rolling, whoop, like series. That's teaser. Choop. Starting position. To get into the starting position, you sit on top of the arc and then hold the arc side, and using your abdominals, you roll back over the arc. And shorter users may need to put an pad, the mat, to support their head. Okay. And hips should be firmly supported by the arc, and there should be no pressure on your neck. No pressure on your neck. So the way that this one takes you through getting it, the way that explanation sounds, is that you're actually going to sit on the arc and lay back, right? So I'm gonna pull this bad boy a little bit closer to me so that I can walk you through all your leg series. But the way that this one walks it through is that you'll sit on the arc, and then you lay back on the arc this way, right? So I would lay back, hold the arc, I would lay back, and almost just slide down the arc. So those are 2 ways to get into the arc. But, and then let's see, it's pretty much the same position, but that sliding backwards, for a lot of people, that's a wickedly weird, almost scary-ish kind of position to be in. So the other way, again, is feet down on the floor. You bridge up and almost roll kind of backwards just a little bit. Just make sure you don't roll back on your neck. And then you just pull the arc underneath you, okay, until you get the arc to the point where you can just kind of start wiggling your way up it, right? So once I'm here, let's get these bad boys out so we make sure we walk through each one of them. It's so not very dark in my room, or not very bright in my room. So the first one is scissors, the second one is bicycle, and the third one is circles. And then I'm going to give you a bonus one called helicopter. Love helicopter. Okay, so hands on here. This is a hip mobility series. Plus, once you're up here, you're going to start to find anything inversion is actually quite glorious for the body. We don't want to stay here super long. So once you get here, please watch that you're not here forever. But hold on. Let's start scissors. So scissors is exactly what it sounds like. We just split the legs apart. And I'm finding my leg workout yesterday on the reformer was super, and the chair, lots of hamstrings. So I'm feeling this one straight away. I've got a good hip mobility happening here. Now in my scissor, I can take these and I can go pointed toe, right? I can go flexed foot, different conversation. And I can change it. I can go point to flex, point to flex. Now flex to point, flex to point, or I can do a point back here and a flex here. So then I have to change each ankle and I have to think about the movement more, right? Now my knee, what's going to happen a lot of times is if I'm tight here in my hip, which a lot of us are in this external rotation, we like to be externally rotated. If that's the case, your knee's going to just automatically start tracking that way. So I want you to feel like you're lengthening out of that pelvis and the knee is tracking closer towards your shoulder rather than out towards the side, okay? Let's go 5 with intention and 4 with intention and 3 and 2 and 1 and bicycles, okay? So bicycles, you draw the knee to the chest, the other one goes away and he is looking down for the floor here, right? Now I'm going to lengthen out that leg and draw the other knee in. So there's a lengthen with this leg that's down towards the floor and a lengthen with the leg up in the ceiling. So it's like they're pulling the bicycle pedal around. I'm going to use the abdominal wall and then I'm going to reverse it. So I'm going to bring the knee in and I'm going to slide that leg out. Bring the knee in and slide the leg out, drawing that knee towards that shoulder. Moving with intention. Reaching out, remember hip mobility. Now bring the legs up. Leg circles. So we open them out, we circle them around and out, and then we can bring them right back up and through and around. Now notice how my hip is kind of moving off that arc. Is that bad? No. But what I do want to look for is that my back stays where I can reconnect and that arc is not coming underneath my neck. I can play with the flexion and point of the ankle. I'm going to reverse it and go the other way. So there's another advanced move that you can do off of this little series that just takes you right there. But there's an advanced series that you can do that actually takes this up and over. And for this series or this video here, we're going to stay right up on these circles. Now we're going to take it to the helicopter. Leg goes up. We're going to separate the legs in that scissor. We circle them around. We switch 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we circle them around. And we switch 1, 2, 1, 2. We circle around. And we switch 1, 2, 1, 2. We circle around. And we switch 1, 2. Now, just circle back around. Reach those legs now. 1, 2. 1, 2. Circle. Circle. 1. Circle. Circle. 1. Circle. Circle. 1. Legs go up. Knees to chest. Give it a little wiggle side to side. And then from here, you're going to take those feet down to the floor. We're going to lift that hip up and just going to slide that arc away. Drop that hip down with intention. Knees to chest, a little wiggle. And release. We're going to roll it up. Okay, so that's your little hip leg series, mobility series. Amazing how much it works without you ever even realizing how much it's working, right? Okay, so teaser preparation. Oh, I love the arc for teaching teaser. We're gonna stay facing forward, but there is a whole series where you can face backwards on it. So let's do teaser facing forward. We're gonna bring that arc back again to where we started in that well. So back into the well of the arc, not the lip, but the well, okay? And then from here, in teaser. So teaser preparation is as you lay back, just bringing the knees up into a tabletop half scissor or a half tabletop, half teaser position. When we do this one, there's 3 sequences, okay? So the first one is from that tabletop, all we do is extend the legs up. The second one is you're laying the legs down and up. And the third one is you roll your torso back, okay? So in the first one, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come into a half teaser position, which is legs and tabletop. And in my first movement, all I'm doing is extending my legs and then bending them right back into that half tabletop. And again, the beautiful part about this arc is it's gonna actually support the body in the teaser position for the torso. And in, and in. 2 more. 1 more. And in. Now today, that first little series, that may be all you want to do. Fast forward to the next one, you're good to go. However, if you want to stay with me, we're going to advance this just a little bit more. So we're going to come into that half teaser position, just finds it. We're going to extend it. We're going to lower those legs up and down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend them in, give the pause. Next one, we're going to lay the torso back and then sweep up, okay? So we're going to come up and in, up to it. We're going to lay that torso back. And then we're going to roll back up and in, half teaser, or lower it down, inhale, exhale, up, full teaser. And again, lower down, sweep it around, half teaser option, lower it down, full teaser option, and up, and release. Let's do that little series one more time. 1, 2, 3, right off the bat, okay? So half teaser, shoulders back in, find yourself in that wall, in that well, extend and lower. 4 more, extend and lower. 3, 2, hold, down and up. 4, 3, 2, 1, lower everything down and up. 4, lower everything down and up. 3, lower everything down and up. 2, lower everything down and up. 1, knees in, give it a little pause. Nice series. So that was your little teaser, and now we're going to go to swan prep. Now the first one in your book, swan, shows you on the arc on the top with your belly or your hips. So when we do this one, what I tend to see first off the bat with swan is people wanting to, or thinking that they need to lift. I'm going to get myself in supported position first. Thinking that they need to lift the head first, right? And if I lift my head first, I actually end up with all these wrinkles in the back of my neck, right? More often than not, we think that if we lift our head higher, that means I'm getting a bigger extension on my spine, which is so not the case. The extension on the spine comes from about center. So if I take my hand behind my back and I just take my thumb and kind of rub my thumb up, lower portion of the shoulder blades, right in between where the bra line is, or if you put a sports monitor, a heart rate monitor on, it'd be about right there where that thumb is, okay? So when I swan in an extension up, I actually want to come from that position first, from that direction. So we inhale up, and we exhale and release. So notice it comes from the middle. Inhale, up, exhale, release. There's not a nod of the head. So I'm not trying to say yes. I'm not trying to reach my eyes up to the ceiling. I want to take my eyes and look at the horizon. I'm going to inhale, look at the horizon. Exhale and down. All right, so that's swan. Now let's put swan onto your arc. So let's flip that over. Okay, so the first one is, and again, we're not going to do a lot of reps here, but this one's actually going to take you with the legs. So hands are going to go on, I'm going to come up into my swan, into my full extension here, nice and tall up. Then I'm gonna bend my elbows and my legs come up. And then I inhale up into swan. So this one allows you to do the bit of that dive in a swan dive, and it lets the arc do a lot of the help for you. So we take it down, we lift it up, inhale. We take it down, we lift it up, inhale. One more, we take it down, feel that belly connect to that back of that spine, and up and release. So what am I asking for there? I want to keep my lower back from dumping forward and stay out of that extra lower lumbar, which I have an extra lower lumbar, so I have to be super thoughtful of it. Now the next one in this series actually takes your arc and flips it over, and then you pop this base, the well and the lip off, and then he becomes a rocking and rolling, right? So now you're gonna lay on the back side or the bottom, and you're gonna rock and roll, right? So it's super fun. Down and up, down and up, down and up. Two more, down and up, one more, down and up. You can really let the legs fly here. So this would be, I can let the legs come up, but I'm gonna keep my back from really arcing here. So when I lift here, I'm just gonna reach long, inhale, come up, two more, down, reach long, inhale, come up, one more, down, reach long, inhale, come up and release. So anytime I do a lot of flexion on my spine, I always want to come back and do some extension work as well. And that's what that is. So I'm going to take that arc, I'm going to put it right back together. I'm going to flip him over. He's just like a little puzzle piece. He just comes right back together. I always think it sounds like I'm on a boat because it's made from styrofoam. So it sounds a lot like the styrofoam pieces that we have on our boats when I was growing up. All right, so your last series here from Swan is bridge. So there's a couple of ways that you can do bridge on this. You can actually bridge with your hips up higher on the arc, but we're gonna actually use our feet on the arc just like it shows. So we go flat, we take the arc forward, we come to the back, we hips at the end, lay down. I'm gonna make sure I'm in a good position on my reformer that I don't feel like I'm butting my head up into my shoulder blocks. And then from there, my feet just go right up on top of the arc. And then I can, oh yeah, easy. Then right there, I'm gonna take my hands, I'm gonna open my collarbone, I'm gonna tuck through my tailbone, and I'm gonna pick that bridge up. So now I'm in a bridge prep position. My feet are up high on that arc, which is fantastic for the height I can get now on my hips. However, what I want to do is I want to stay maintaining positioning and connection to my shoulder blades, okay? And then from here, I just start marching. I can march, march, march those feet, right? Let's do a couple more marches. Because it feels so good. You exhale as it comes to you. And then you take it to a high kick. So toe high, heel down, toe up, heel down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. I want you to play with the breath. 3, feel out what feels best to you. 2, and 1, and up. Put that foot down. Try to keep those hips square that whole time. And then the other leg goes up. And note that the leg that you're based on, try to keep him super quiet. Here we go. Down and up, down and up, down and up. Let's go. 8 and up, 7 and up, 6 and up, 5 and up, 4, 3, equal pressure between both sides, 2 and 1. We're gonna put that foot back down, keep that hip up. Now we're gonna lift the other leg up. Circle, small around and up, small at the top and up, small around and up. Is that small? No, but it's not crossing midline. Round it up, let's reverse. Let's take it one more time. And then let's reverse it, take it the other way. Last one. Foot down, leg up. Okay, so small, well, I say small, we do the big one first. And then small, big one, and then small. What's happening on the other leg? Big one, oof, and then small. And then we reverse the whole thing. So big, small, big, small, last one, big, small, foot down, lower down, and release. And I'm pretty sure that takes you through Swan, the end of your book. But to finish this whole little series out, I want you to bring your legs in, roll back up, take that arc back out, onto that lip, or onto that well, and slowly roll. One last time, let the hips kind of come up. Slowly roll one last time, but in a more relaxed position where you're long enough that your head can now relax on that arc. Reach those arms long. Head is resting on the arc. Sweep those hands out. Chin tilt. Walk those feet in. And roll it back down again. And again, you can keep that hip up, or you can kind of start working to where that hip starts to kind of drop down into that well, and you're getting an extension on that spine. And you can see, and as I move my hands around, it changes that conversation at the top of my head. And I can hold my head as I walk my hips back in and up. I'm going to do one last one, and this one's going to be my deepest one yet. So I'm going to drop my head first, extend my hands. And then I'm going to walk just a little bit in my legs. Let that hip just kind of start dropping just a little bit. Up. And I release. Yay! Nice job. So that, if this is your new, if you're new to ARC, you got one for Christmas, anything like that, and you just want to get a step into it, this is very much an introductory to that ARC and what kind of gift you gave your back, because this guy is amazing for your spine. I promise when you stand up, you're gonna feel so much taller and so much lighter. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have questions at all, please drop me a note, drop me a comment, and follow along for more of this kind of information. Have a good one.